Now, the next problem is that you need to have a different title tag on every page of your website. What do you think the spider thinks if it sees the same title on every page? You've got lots of copies of the same page. That's right. So here is Sonora Photography Studios, and she takes portrait gallery. Can you see her title tag simply says Sonora Studios Professional Photography. She takes baby portraits and baby pictures. Title tag, does it say baby pictures? No. So you need to have a different title on every single page of your website. Google considers it a fault. Google considers it an error if you have the same title on every page. So that's something that you might want to also think about getting fixed. And finally, the content of the title tag needs to correspond to what's on the page. So on this page, he has one page talking about all the photography he does. He does weddings, he does advertising, he does portraits, he does commercial photography. He's put all this content on one page. So the title tag, which title tag should he use? What he wants to do here is actually split all of these different services into a separate page. And you say, here are my wedding services, here's my commercial photography services. So you need to have a separate page with a separate title tag for each of the things that you do. Now, as a quick example, in terms of confusing things, I did take one little look. Boyd's Direct, where are you? I know you're here. Boyd's Direct. In any event, can you see that their title tag, can you see all the way to the tippy top? It says Mobility Aids Patio Awnings, Canadian Green Grass Seed Dining Sets, Plant Stands Garden Furniture Folding Tables. This is called title tag diarrhea. That means somebody told you that you need to put your keywords in the title tag, so they have just stuffed every word they can think of into the one title tag. What does Google think? You can see Google going, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you see we need to have a page about grass seed? We need a separate page talking about awnings. And they have just literally stuffed everything into the one stonking big title tag, thinking that this would help their search engine optimization. And indeed, this is not going to help at all. But this is actually technically incorrect. Okay? So you might want to take a little look at how your title tags are constructed. So keep in mind that Google does index every page of your website individually. Every page should have a different title tag. You might want to decide, if any of you have small businesses like mine, you might not actually want to be optimizing for your company name. If you're not well known, you might want to be optimizing for what you do rather than who you are. And you might want to avoid the words that Google does not index. Google does not index stop words. These are words like end of, if the, not because, welcome, and home. So we're not going to use these kind of words in our title tags. They're not meaningful. They don't help Google to index what your content is all about. All right, let's do just one last little thing before we finish up for a little cup of coffee. It isn't just the title tag where you need to put the key phrase. You need to put the key phrase in a number of different places on the page. Now, do you remember a few years ago, there was a guy called John and his wife Anne, and he pretended to be dead in a canoeing accident. Do you remember? And he then went, and didn't he go to Panama? And that's where he then decided to fake being dead so they could get the insurance money. Well, how did they discover, by the way, that John was still alive? They found him on Google. Literally, somebody put John Ann into the thing, their name, and an estate agent had taken their photograph when they bought the apartment in Panama, and they put their name on Google, and that is how they discovered that he was alive. So what I did is I wrote an article about the fact that, be careful because Google can kind of find everything. And when you go into the Google search results for John and Ann in Panama, can you see that my stupid little blog ranks number 3 for John and Ann Moved to Panama? Do I actually want to rank well for this phrase? No. So this is called search engine optimization by mistake. Does that make sense? But what I wanted to do is share with you how I got this blog article to rank for the wrong phrase. And that's because I put the phrase in all the right places. And I'd like to give you a checklist now of where the right places are. Well, we've already talked about the title tag. So way up here at the tippy top, can you see that my title tag does say John and Ann Moved to Panama? Everybody okay with that? That's my title. The second place is, can you see that the page is actually named www.hallam.biz/John and Ann Moved to Panama.html. Page names are hugely important for search engine optimization. So if you sell blue widgets, do not call it product 1 and product 2. You're going to call it bluewidgets.html, greenwidgets.html. The third thing is, can you see that we have a heading on the page? Now, if we have any geeks here, these are called H1 or H2 tags in the HTML. And headings used to be very important. They're actually playing less of an important role now. But nevertheless, having your key phrase in your heading is very good practice. Can you see I have the word John and Ann in the first paragraph on the page? Words at the top of the page are more important than words at the bottom of the page. So in terms of our copywriting, I'm putting John and Ann in Panama in the first paragraph. And not only have I done that, I've also put the word John and Ann in Panama in bold. Words that are in bold are more important than words that are not in bold. If I look at your websites, I think you put words like very special in bold. And that means you're optimizing the word very special for Google. So what you want to do is you want to put, we have very special blue widgets, and you want to put blue widgets in bold, not the word very. So the emphasis needs to be on the key phrase. Now, so we have it in the title tag, we have it in the URL, we have it in the heading, first paragraph in bold, and then what I did do is grab a copy to show you where they got the picture from. Now the picture, let me go back up. The picture that's on the page is an image, it's a JPEG. Do you know what I mean? So it's a JPEG file. This picture is actually called John and Ann Panama.jpg. So I didn't call it image 1, image 2, image 3. I've named the picture the correct keyword. And again, I don't know if you realize, but when you have a picture, have you ever noticed when you put your mouse on the picture, some text appears? That's called an alt tag. That's in case the person can't see the picture, and it's text that would describe to them what the picture was about if they couldn't see it. And the words that are in the alt tag hiding under the picture is a strongly contributing search engine optimization factor. So we have the name of the image, we've got the alt tag hiding underneath. And then finally, what we have is we do have lots of people linking to the website saying, here's an article about John and Ann going to Panama. So developing content is a very methodical process. You need to put the key phrase in the right places. This is a boring job, and you've got to do it. So some of you may need to go back through your website and comb through every page and edit them so that they contain the right content. So the content on the pages is hugely, hugely important. Okay? Now the last thing on the list is something called meta tags. You guys heard of meta tags before? If anybody says to you, I will get you to the top of Google by fixing your meta tags, they're telling you porky pies. Google ignores meta tags. Google has ignored meta tags for 6 or 7 years. So anybody who says to you, I'll fix your meta tags, what are you going to say back? Goodbye. Meta tags play no part in Google search engine optimization at all. Meta tags are hugely important though, and the reason that they're hugely important is that the meta tags are the bit of text See if I can find it one. It appears in the search results, it's the 2 lines of black text that appears here. So your meta tags are kind of the marketing message that appears in the black text under the blue text in the search results. So this is helping me to rank better. It's the text that's going to persuade you to click on my website because you think I'm the right company. Does that make sense? So your meta description tag is about marketing, not about ranking. The other search engines, Bing in particular, does look at the meta tag.